ratified, the way the Philadelphia Convention did. After all, the Philadelphia Convention was called under a scheme, under the Articles, that said ratification required unanimity among the states. But they departed from that. A lot of the speakers today have said not to worry. Article 5 says that it takes 38 states to ratify. But what if the convention decides that ratification will be by a national referendum without giving 13 small states a veto power? Certainly, if your idea of a convention is to correct the most fundamental defects in the system, like Sandy Levinson's emphasis in a lot of his writing on the defect that every state has the same number of senators, whether it's a huge state or a small state, it would follow that if you're going to change that, you're going to have to change Article 5 itself, which says that no state can be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate without its consent. And if you're going to change that part of Article 5, why not the part of Article 5 that specifies the mode of ratification? Another question, are the states to be equally represented, or does a one-person, one-vote rule apply? And here's a question that could well tie the country in knots for longer than the 18-month running reality show that Sandy Levinson has in mind. What about the District of Columbia? We can't even figure out if the citizens of the district should be able to vote for members of Congress. What's their role in such a convention? Could delegates be bound in advance by legislation or referendum to propose particular amendments or vote in a particular way? Now, if you choose them by lottery, the way Professor Levinson would, it's a little hard to imagine how they could be bound in advance. Could the convention propose amendments by simple majority, or do you need 2/3 or a supermajority? If each state gets one convention vote, must delegates representing a majority of the population nonetheless vote for an amendment in order for it to get proposed? Conversely, if the convention uses a one-person, one-vote formula, must the delegations of 26 states, perhaps including the District of Columbia, nonetheless vote in favor of a proposed amendment? And this is absolutely critical. What role, if any, would the Supreme Court play in resolving conflicts among Congress, state legislatures, governors, referenda, and the convention itself? Barbara assumes, oh yes, we can rely on the court to hold things in check. But can we? The court certainly has assumed